Yay, now here. Make sure it points at me.
Are you recording it? Is it already recording?
Yes, it's already recording. Okay. How many of you imagine yourselves sitting on the beaches of Puerto Rico, the Bahamas, or Cozumel during your retirement? How many of you imagine the crashes of the waves against the sand or the warmth of the sun against your skin? Well, people like Dolores Westfall, age 79, will never get to experience this luxurious retirement. According to the Los Angeles Times, Dolores Westfall fell out of the middle class and lost her home back in 2008. She now jumps from job to job, living in her aging RV all alone. She receives a monthly income of $1,200 in Social Security, $190 in pension, and any extra cash she gets from her rotating jobs. She also owes over $50,000 on her credit cards and pays a monthly expense of $286 on her RV. There are thousands of Americans just like Dolores who are struggling to survive their golden years due to their lack of retirement funds. Despite most employers' efforts, employees do not take on the responsibility of saving. So today, we are going to examine the lack of responsibility by most of Americans, how we can start to save, and the benefits of starting to save early. As older generations enter their years of retirement, they are now beginning to realize they cannot support themselves on the savings that they did have or lack thereof. According to Northwestern 2018 Planning and Progress Study, a shocking 21% of Americans have nothing saved for their retirement, and 10% have less than $5,000 stocked away for their golden years. The older generations are now relying heavily on the Social Security checks that they are receiving from the government. Studies have shown that when one spouse dies, the other spouse will not report this death to the government so they can still continue to receive this income. A Social Security check is meant to add stability to retirement, not to be relied on. If these older generations continue to take this money from the government, there may not be enough funds left for those of us who are still years away from retirement. Their lack of saving has also forced them to stay in the workforce longer than their expected retirement age. According to Nili Verlinden, co-author and editor-in-chief of Digital HR, there's just not enough young workers to make up for the gap that the baby boomers are going to leave behind. The older generations are occupying thousands of jobs, which causes the younger generations to be unemployed and less experienced. While saving for retirement may seem like a challenge, there are several ways that you can implement saving into your budget. The easiest way for most people is to start with a 401k. A 401k is an employer-based savings account. Most employers match your contributions as well as their own. In other words, for every dollar that you put into your 401k, most employers will match that with 50 cents. While in the beginning this may not seem like a lot, after years, if you've placed $10,000 in your 401k, they'll match that with $5,000. Another way for people to begin saving is to talk to a financial advisor. These are professionally trained people who can give you retirement options as well as savings plans to benefit your future. Another way for you to begin to save is to create a budget where each month you'll take a specific amount out of your paycheck and put it aside. According to americasaves.org, an employee who sets aside $100 a month starting at the age of 21 will have over $191,000 saved by the age of 65, assuming that they earn 5% a year on investments. In contrast, a worker who waits till they're 40 would have to put over $350 a month in order to achieve the same goal. If you begin saving now, it will take less stress and struggle than if you waited till the last minute. In addition to the example that I've already given, at age 40, by then you should already have a home and have started a family. Therefore, it will be much difficult to add $350 a month rather than $100. This will also give you plenty of time to start building a comfortable supply of money just in case Social Security funds do run out. According to Jim Cudler, a senior financial consultant at Central Securities, the wonderful thing about starting early is that you can invest in investments that are designed to compound interest so that you can earn more money. If you begin saving early, you will have plenty of time to build a safety net in case of family emergencies or other things that may come up. You will also have the option to retire early. If you choose not to start saving early, several negative aspects could happen. One of which is that you will be forced to work until you're physically unable to, which should take a huge toll on your body. You could fall into debt trying to support yourself or trying to support your family. Or you would be forced to rely on your children, your grandchildren, or your brothers and sisters because you don't have the money to support yourself. Each situation leads further and further into struggles that you wouldn't have originally seen. Therefore, it would be much easier and you'd have a much happier retirement if you'd started saving now. In conclusion, we were able to evaluate how some Americans lack the responsibility to save, and because of this, we were able to see that they are continuing to take money from the government as well as occupy the jobs that are available to the younger generation. As this happens, the older generation's quality of life continues to tumble as they get older. Therefore, it would save you much time, much struggle, and much stress to start saving now.